Hello, Dr. Gentry. Hello, my classmates, and hello to those who are watching. Here are my two audiences.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Okay. Hello again, everyone. Today, my persuasive speech will be about education, and here's what I will be covering. First of all, my introduction will be about giving importance and benefits to what education can give to an individual. Then the body would cover about issues in education. I will discuss them one by one, and then I will provide ways or tips of how to spread education or the knowledge, basically. And then my conclusion will be about encouraging everyone else how to spread the knowledge. So let us start. Why should we consider education as a big factor in life, a priority, and why should it be strictly implemented to every single one? First, I have a quote from Malcolm X. He said, "Education is a passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who are prepared for today." It was a very inspirational video. A quote. It was a very inspirational quote by Malcolm X, and things that could be of importance with education are. Education will guarantee you stable career, which are a lot to choose from. Better the education, better higher chances of financial security, less worldwide and societal issues, equality, that is when you consider that education is given amongst everyone else equally. So that might be a possible way to disrupt racial inequalities and everything else. Self-dependency and confidence, safer world. How? Because the more you are educated, the lesser things you would lean to the right things instead of the wrong things. Basically, that is just basically following the law and rules of what we have in the society. And that was from Louis Son, 2020. Going on to the body. In here, I will discuss about the issues in education. First off, I will start with the global issues on education. One is education funds. Most are through government funds, which makes the public schools and charter schools. Some are magnet schools here in US, but for the global, I do not think they have types of schools like magnet schools, or charter schools. Teacher crisis is one of the global issue. We think that there's a lot of teachers in the world, but there really aren't a lot of teachers teaching enough students. That is why we have the overflow in students to teacher ratio, which happens a lot in public schools all over the world. Building structures in poverty areas, or I should say rural areas, there are not enough building structures to where you can teach the whole population. Lack of learning materials, because you need to spend money in order to at least get that education to give to your children, or yes, everything. Gender issues, this happens mostly in Middle Eastern countries, which most girls or women are not really allowed to go to school. Countries in conflict, it also happens mostly in Middle Eastern countries, especially if the country has a conflict between the societies in there. Poverty is one common and big global issue, which of course we know that. And those global issues came from the Article 10 barriers, 2014. And here I will give you the issues education in US. Most are similar to the global issues, of course. One is school funds, teacher crisis also. Since US today is a very diverse country, I have not really seen gender gap issues, but if you think of it, gender gap issues comes in well on college days, because there are fields where mostly men dominates, and so it is rare for a woman or a woman to take that field where it is dominated by men. But time to time it is improving that those courses of men dominated by men can be taken by women too. Cannot catch up with continuous development of economy. So I have found out that 34 states, this was in 2015. This article was in 2015, so it was 34 states contributes less funds, so therefore it results to closures of schools, which are inevitable because it just happens. The downsides of technology. Technology has a lot of advantages and disadvantages these days. And since we cannot stop development, the evolution of everything, technology will always be there. One of the technology's downsides are using them too much, of course, wherein parents should get involved, which is one of the reasons, one of the issues of education in US, because parents, not only teachers themselves, are enough to help the students learn, but parents is a big contribution in a child's education. Just like what I said before, disadvantages in some urban areas and mostly in rural areas, because rural areas like provinces, farms, countryside, what would you expect? It is a less developed area than urban areas. So we would not expect what kind of developments the cities and towns has compared to what the provinces have. So this was from Lynch 2015. And there are a lot of ways to spread education, which is, since technology is a very big help these days, we can spread knowledge with using social media, creating online learning materials, which is a lot like what Khan Academy are doing. They do videos in YouTube, and they have the app to where you can learn in general. You can learn a lot of things from them, from kindergarten through college area of education. That's what Khan Academy has to contribute for education, which is a lot. Parent involvement, just like what I said earlier, is a big help to spread education because they can do a lot more. And non-government organization or just organizations, for those who cannot find their role in order to help spread education, you can you can help through fundings or donations on organizations in order to help more people who needs education. So now that I have provided you some eye-opening reasons, education, I have given you some eye-opening reasons as to why education needs to be a big factor in our life, and it needs to be a priority because it will help you in your life. And there's a lot of ways to how we can act to help spread the knowledge. You can get help from people in your circle or outside your circle. The more the merrier, as we say. So let us contribute to help and break these barriers of issues in education in order to, little by little, in order to create a safer world that we sought for a long time. Again, I am Jaron Parungal, and here are my two audiences. Thank you.